What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a lot of little things on this car, just little finishing touches, things that I've missed, or I don't know, just little bits and bobs. For example, when I bought the engine gasket kit, it was actually for a non-VVTi, so the valve cover gaskets I got sent were wrong, so I kind of bodged it, and the other day I realised that it's leaking. I don't know if you can see, but there's a lot of oil down there which is causing it to misfire a bit on low RPMs. So we got some new ones of them over here. Hopefully they're the correct ones. I haven't even opened them yet, but should be alright. So we're going to get them changed. We've also got new spark plugs, because I completely forgot as well, but the ones in this engine are actually the original ones that came with the G. So we got these, which are, where's the part number? Oh, there. Is it going to focus? Yeah, so we got some of them. I looked on some forums and stuff, and quite a few people recommended these. Obviously you should go for like the Iridium ones and stuff, but they're like 15 quid a spark plug, and these were on offer at like 5 quid each or something, so much cheaper. So we'll try these for now. So we're going to get all of that oil out, change the valve cover gaskets, fit the new plugs, and also picked up some D3 power steering fluid, because I don't have power steering in this at the moment and it is hell to move around with the Wisefab on. So we're going to do that, see if there's any leaks, which there's an extremely high chance of there being leaks on this. So let's give that a try. The fans, I don't know if you watched one of my previous videos where I wired the fans up. I actually wired them wrong. So the other day when Ross was tuning it, I just hooked them up to here to have them on. So I'm going to wire that correctly, because I just guessed the wiring, but Ross found an actual diagram of how it's supposed to be, so I'm going to do that. And then I've got a few little bits to set up in the ECU, like the boost controller, the IAT as well. I've got the sensor, but I haven't got the connector yet, which I'm waiting for. It's supposed to be here today, but it's not. So that's another thing. Also, I noticed when I'm trying to move the car, it's like as if the brakes are getting applied, because it was just sort of locking the wheels up almost and pushing forwards. What I did, the booster has a vacuum line, so I just plugged it into the manifold, because that's where it is on the E36 engine. But obviously now we're putting pressure through it instead of a vacuum, so I'm guessing that is causing the booster to sort of apply pressure to the brakes. So I'm going to unplug that and then block the hole on the manifold and see if that makes a difference. I don't know anything about the brake boosters and stuff, so I'm just guessing, but that was my first guess. If any of you have any suggestions of what to do with that, let me know down below. I'm new to all this again. And I've also bought a bunch of new nylock nuts for all the Wisefab, because it's actually, oh, you can't really see, but I haven't even put half the bolts on. It's held in place, but they're not tight or anything like that. So need to do that as well. So yeah, just a bunch of little things. We're going to go through it all and get this thing running sweet. First, let's do the valve covers. There we go, they're all off now. I'll show you what I did. You're going to laugh at this. What one is it? This one, yeah. So I just sort of, oh, it's not going to focus, is it? I don't know if you can see that there, but I just chopped bits and put it in there. I knew it was going to leak. It was just temporary until I ordered the others. But it kind of worked, just leaked a bit at the end. So let's get these changed over quick. So I've got the old plugs out. These are the two that where the oil leak was, and as you can see they are covered in oil. You probably can't because this camera never focuses, but yeah, there you can see the drip. They're covered in oil, so that will be causing a misfire. The plugs are all black, which means it's running a bit rich, which is good for now. I'd rather it running rich than lean. You don't want to have it running lean. God knows how old these plugs are, so should be nice getting some freshies in there. Hopefully they're the same ones. Yeah, it looks about right. Banging. Alright, I'm just going to get rid of all the oil that's down here. I've just got some tissue in there, soaking it up, and then we'll chuck these back in. Soaking up some of the oil. Let's pour some of this in here. Fingers crossed. Won't be surprised if there's a leak on this, I must say. Let me have a look. Is there going to be any leaks? I guess we'll find out once I start it up and there's pressure in there. The only place that I think could be a leak is where it joins the power steering on the low pressure side, but we'll soon find out, won't we? Let me fill that up quick and then we'll go from there. Alright, so the power steering is leaking, exactly where I thought it was going to, as you can see. But I've tried doing it, but I just can't get under there, so I'm going to have to drive it onto the ramp again with no power steering. It's bloody difficult, this. Trying to turn the wise valve with no power steering is a workout, I tell you. Alright, let me get... I'll put all the plugs back in and everything. So, let me get the battery connected and stuff and try and move this thing again. Alright, so I got it on the ramp. It was an absolute mission. Trying to drive this thing at the moment without the alignment and no power steering. Oh my god. Literally the back just keeps going whoop, spinning out like doing a burnout. But that's where it's leaking, that join there. So I need to figure something out. Get it to clamp up a bit tighter somehow. Fun times, eh? Fun times. Let me figure out what I'm going to do quick. Already scraped the titanium. Painful, but so lumpy in here. God. Right, so I fixed that. I put a different fitting in there and it doesn't seem to be leaking now. The power steering does work, but it judders, so it's like as if it's not getting enough fluid. So I need to figure out why. It might be because the main feed pipes is like sagging too much, so I don't know. I'm going to try and hold the reservoir up higher and try and bleed it and then see if it works that way. But I'll do that in a bit. But it's not leaking now, which is the good bit. I have also, up there in the manifold, I've put the IAT sensor. I've ordered the plug because I've got the wires here, but the plug hasn't arrived yet. So I need to wait for that to arrive. Also, I disconnected my brake booster vacuum pipe because I just put it on the manifold, but it was sort of, as I was revving the car, it was causing the brakes to come on. So I need to figure out what to do with that. If anyone knows what to do with that, leave me a message on Instagram or leave a comment or something, because I have no idea. Don't know if I have to run a separate vacuum pump for it or what. I am not sure. I'll do some research, but I don't really want to not have a brake booster because it doesn't feel very nice. Might be alright, but rather not. On the exhaust here, I'm also thinking about chopping like a bit of 3.5-inch stainless and wrapping it around this low point. So if it scrapes the stainless and not the titanium, because it's bound to scrape. And that's all, just moving it around in here has dented it. So yeah. Also today I might put a little bracket here to hold the pipe because it's still a bit wobbly, as you can see. So yeah, probably going to do that. Also got these little sexy things from SMT Motorsport. Basically this replaces your stock toe adjustment to give you way more. I'll show you once I put them on the difference, but obviously these slots are much wider, so you get a lot more movement, and these plates are closer together, so it allows it to move in the pocket more. These are super awesome. Can't wait to fit that. Is if you've got a lowered E36 or track car where you really want to dial in your setup, these are essential, because the stock ones are rubbish. There's like this much movement. It is so bad. So if you lower your car, you always end up with too much toe. But yeah, also Stu's given me a little discount code for all of you guys. So if anyone wants to buy some of these, I'll leave a link down in the description, or you can message SMT Motorsport on Instagram. Use code MAX10 and you'll get 10% off of all of his products. He does these, he does diff brace reinforcements, 2JZ AC delete, which we also are running at the front here. Just about to see it there. SMT Motorsport. Get rid of your AC. Don't need that stuff here in England. But yeah, go check his website out and use code MAX10. Save yourself some money, boy. Alright, so here's a little difference between the brackets. Look at the adjustment on that. And look at the adjustment on that. Way different. And also you can see these sort of stick out, so you're actually losing about a finger width of movement on each side. These are much narrower, see it literally fits inside. So get all the more movement. Let's get them on there. Alright, so I've welded a little tab on the exhaust and then a block onto the brace there. Ignore the terrible welding, I messed that up, but it's on there. The exhaust ain't moving nowhere now. Lovely jubbly, it's all on there solid, mate. Obviously we've got the flex up there, so as the engine moves, it will take the vibrations and stuff. This bit's quite solid now. Banging. I also done sort of like a nut and bolt check on the rear, so everything's tight, all the drive shaft's tight. Everything's nice and tight, mate. What the hell's going on here? Not ideal. Lovely jubbly, sorted. Yeah, everything's nice and tight. Right, so I just tested the alternator as well because I realised it's not charging the battery. I thought maybe my wiring was wrong, but I just took the plug off, put some pins on it and wired it directly to 12 volts because one's for a light, one's switched 12 volt and one's constant 12 volt. So I just put them all to 12 volt and it's still not charging. So I think I got a dodgy alternator, which is really annoying because they're like 100 quid. Why is it the things that I didn't replace on the build are all broken? Like, what are the chances of that? So annoying. I still haven't figured out the shaky power steering, but I've got a slight idea what it might be, so I'm going to order some bits for that. But yeah, she is getting there, boys. She is getting there. So close now. Next week I'm going to buy the paint to paint the other wing because I've got a green one, I think I mentioned it before, so I need to paint that velvet blue and then just need some over fenders really. And I'm also going to paint the side skirts because they've always been black, but I want to colour match them, so I'm going to do that as well. So yeah, that'll be next week. But let's move this car back over there. Now the battery's dead, great.
That sounded nice when you pulled away, man. Because the battery's dead, it's not sparking it properly.
I also need to clean the mess out of this thing as well. Look at it, it's all just stuff piled everywhere, but I'll do that last. It's just a fact of cleaning and stuff. But yeah, that's probably going to be it for today's video. I know it's a really random one with lots of random bits and bobs and probably a short one. I don't even know how long this one's going to be. But it's just loads of little gremlins now to figure out. The alternator's so annoying. Why is it everything that I didn't replace when I'm building the engine has gone wrong? Should have just bought everything new. Nice bit of artwork there. But yeah, I bought a new daily. It's quite cool. I don't know, I might do a video on that next week. Maybe, I don't know, maybe. Let me know if you want to see a video on that. I might film one. It's nothing super special, it's just a tow rig basically. So good. But yeah, or I also need to do some painting, so I'm going to get the paint on Tuesday, I think. Yeah, Tuesday. So then I'll be able to paint the wing and the side skirts, and then the car will be complete. It just needs front over fenders. That's it. Then it'll be done. And top hats, preferably. But, yeah. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.